one mistake that people make when trying to improve their vertical jump. Now, before we can dive into this one mistake that people make with their vertical jump, I want to talk about the two foundational mistakes, or the two foundational reasons. They're not really mistakes. They're just reasons as to why someone's vertical jump may not be increasing. So if your vertical jump is not increasing, it is 100% because of one of these two things, or both. Number one, you may not be working out in a way or training in a way that forces adaptation in your body. So if your vertical jump is not increasing, you might not be doing the right things. You might not be training hard enough. You might not be doing the correct exercises. But reason number one as to why your vertical jump may not be increasing is because you are not stimulating your body and forcing your body to change. Reason number two is because maybe you are working out hard enough. Maybe you are training in the right way. You're doing the right exercises. You're doing the right sets and the reps. But reason number two is you might not be allowing for enough recovery after you stimulate your body with your training. So if your vertical jump is not increasing, it's 100% one of these two reasons. Either you're not forcing adaptation, or you're not allowing enough recovery from that adaptation that you saw in that workout. That's 100%. There is nothing else. There are subcategories, which I'm going to talk about, one of the subcategories, but there is no other reason as to why your vertical jump is not increasing. You're either not forcing your body to change and increase your vertical jump, or you're not allowing for enough recovery to see those adaptations from your training. Those are the two foundational reasons. There's no other reason why your vert is not increasing. It's one of those two things. Now, there's plenty of subcategories. And if you've followed my YouTube channel for any time, I have a video on YouTube called 20 mistakes that you might be making when it comes to increasing your vertical jump. So there's a whole bunch of subcategories. There's tons of reasons, but keep in mind, those are the two main reasons. Everything falls into those two buckets. So let me talk about one of the subcategories. And this is very random, but I would like to say this because this has been transformational for myself and for the athletes that I train in person. Because as soon as I made this one switch, a lot of my in-person athletes started dunking. So here it is. You might have too much variety in your training. You might have too much variety in your training. And I'll explain it like this. I have athletes that I train in person. And when I first started training athletes in person, I threw a whole lot of shit at them. And I used to say, on Monday, we're doing squats. And on Wednesday, we're doing deadlifts. And on Friday, we're doing rear foot elevated split squat. And next Monday, we're doing pistol squat. And next Wednesday, we're doing hip thrusts. And next Friday, we're doing step ups. And the Monday after that, fill in the blank. The Wednesday after that, fill in the blank. The Friday after that, fill in the blank. But I threw a whole bunch of shit at them. And by the next time that we did squats, it was like 3 or 4 weeks later. So what I did was I actually shifted that. And I had guys that I've been training for like a year and they couldn't dunk. And then I made this one shift and we started doing squats every Monday and Friday. Every single Monday and Friday we do squats. And we progressive overload those squats or whatever exercise that it's going to be. We just particularly we did squats. Every time we did those squats, we did progressive overload. And we did a little bit more and a little bit more, forcing their body to adapt and change. Those same kids started dunking in 1 to 2 months after I had been training them for an entire year. Now, what it did do, me throwing all that shit at them, was it built a great foundation of strength. Those kids were really strong. They were really solid. I fixed everybody's knee pain. They had a great base foundation of strength. So by the time that I figured out the error that I was making and I switched it to now, we don't see squats once every 3 to 4 weeks. We see squats twice a week. So we get the same stimulus twice a week and we progressive overload every single time. You could see how that falls into that first category. We were not training in a way that forced their body to adapt and change because the frequency was not enough. So that was a training error. And that was on my part. So for all of you watching out there, sometimes we get stuck on videos from YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, and we might see something that says, here's the top 3 exercises to increase your vertical jump. And you might say, wow, that's a really good idea. I'm going to go do those 3 exercises and try to increase my vert. Then the next time you open TikTok, you see a video that says, here's 5 exercises to increase your bounce. And you're like, wow, maybe that's the secret. I should go do those 5 exercises. And sometimes we all fall into this, but what I want all of you to understand is you might need to stop doing such a wide variety of exercises, and you might need to just lock in on a small handful of exercises and focus on progressive overloading those exercises every single time that you do them. And we all understand at this point, if you're at episode 11 of the Action Athletixx Podcast, you understand what the best exercises are for vertical jump. You got your squats. You got your deadlifts. You got your rear foot elevated split squat. You got step ups are really good. Barbell hip thrusts are really good. Kettlebell swings are really good. Sorry, my dog he's dreaming. Cairo. I don't think you can even see this on camera, but I'm just going to keep it rolling. But my dog he's playing in his dream and he's running. He might be chasing a ball. He might be chasing a squirrel, but he is in fact dreaming, if you heard that. But where was I? We all know the best exercises. You got your plyometrics like your dunks. Speaking of dunks, your high object touches, your sprints, your depth jumps, your drop jumps, your pogo jumps, your hops, your bounds. We all understand the best exercises for a vertical jump. What I want everyone to do is to stop trying to do every exercise out there and lock in on a smaller handful of exercises and try to progressive overload those every single time. By the way, one last thing that we did when it comes to my athletes dunking in a couple months after me locking in on squats, and it wasn't just squats. It was all the accessory exercises were the same as well. So every Monday and Friday, it might have looked a little bit different. Like Monday and Friday we did squats, but for our post chain exercise, maybe on Monday we did RDLs. Maybe on Friday we did single leg RDLs. Maybe on Monday we did front step ups. Maybe on Friday we did lateral step ups. But it was very, very similar. And I kept it the same every Monday and Friday. And then on Wednesday, we normally had a lighter day. But one thing that I used that was very helpful as well, that I think all of you should know, was that I used linear periodization, which just means we started off with higher volume, lower intensity, and then as the programming went on, we shifted little by little to lower volume, higher intensity. So we might have started off our squats with, let's say we did 8 sets. The first set might have been, 10 reps. The next set might have been 8 reps. And then we did 6 reps. And then we did 5 reps, 5 reps, 4 reps, 3 reps, 2 reps. And those were our 8 sets. And then as we shifted on through the programming and we got more intense, we might have did 5 to 10 sets of 3 repetitions. So lower volume, not as many reps, but much higher in intensity. So linear periodization worked very well for these athletes. So guys, that is one mistake. Those are the 2 foundational reasons as to why your vert might not be increasing. Maybe you're not stimulating your body in a way to change, and maybe you're not allowing for enough recovery after that workout where you stimulated your body. And then there's a subcategory right there. You might be doing too much variety in your training.